Hey guys, welcome to the Coffee and Coaching Podcast. I am Coach Kamara.
I'm Coach Jack G. We hope you enjoy today's episode. We hope you take a lot of value away from it, and we might even make you laugh a little bit.
We started this podcast to help empower and inspire you to take control and create the life that you want to lead.
But remember, everything we say is our opinion. We're not medical professionals. So if we talk about anything that you want to implement into your life, please go and speak to your doctor first.
If you enjoy the episode and you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, share it with anyone that you think might take value from it. And if you can share it on your social media, it would be massively, massively appreciated.
That's enough of that. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, we're back.
What's happening?
All right.
Coffee? We didn't speak about coffee last week, did we?
We didn't. We were about like an hour and 20 in, and I was like, we didn't speak about these coffees at all.
Imagine that. Coffee and Coaching Podcast where not a single mention.
Not a single mention.
Do you know what? It's probably because we're just bored of 92 being shit. Do you know?
There's a coffee place on the back of this building. Little tiny one that we need to try. Is that what it's called? On the back left-hand corner of this here? Yeah. That's
Well,
where
do you know what?
my car the other day, and
I was meeting, my client we met last week.
Yes.
That's why I was a little bit late today, because I was meeting her. Might be getting some hoodies done. But
Teaser.
we were in Chapters of Us, which is meant to be like a proper nice coffee shop, and you called me and I was like, yeah, get me a latte because it's just autopilot. And I was like, why didn't I just get them? Because it's probably going to be well nicer.
Yeah.
So next week, let's try that one on the back.
Okay. Where's that one?
Literally like about 2 minutes away, if that, walking.
Yeah. Okay. Because
I also just seen Dan Till, so that's happening too. Did you see him when you walked past?
yes, I could not remember his name. Recognised his face, and I went. I led on to him. I was like, "You all right?" And I was like, "What the fuck's his name?" Yeah, that's it.
What he led on to you? Did
I
you?
led on to him because he was stood right outside 92.
Did he let him back to you?
He just looked at me like I was a fucking weirdo. Because obviously he doesn't fucking know who I am. Doesn't watch the podcast.
How doesn't he know who Jack Rinley is? What the fuck?
Fucking definitely tagging Dan Till in this story though when we post this. You know that fucking weirdo that led on to you outside 92? That was me. Hi.
Right, so today we should probably just dive straight in because we're 22 minutes late.
Yeah.
Self-doubt. We're talking about self-doubt today.
Yeah. You've made notes.
I have.
He's back.
Back.
I
was away for a short period. Not away.
You went away. You were just off your game slightly.
But there are periods in life where life just fucking elbows you right in the fucking jaw.
Yeah.
You're on the canvas for the minute, but you just got to get back up, isn't it?
Do you know the best thing about that is not getting like, it's not the best thing about it, but like the best thing to do about it is just going, okay, sound. Like, you know, we always say like, look at things like emotionlessly. Like I was like that this week. Like I had a day this week saying to Jacob at the start, I was just like, the bank holiday threw me off. So I've just felt weird all week, like out of sync, like routine's been off. I've been training at like 7 o'clock at night, and it's just like everything, like I've been getting everything done. Yeah. I've been sending you the done lists.
Yeah.
But it's just felt shit. It felt really off and unproductive, and it hasn't been like hasn't been a power week. It hasn't been a power week. And I was just saying to myself, just keep doing stuff. Like, just keep doing stuff. Like, it's fine. Like, just keep doing stuff, because then you'll have a week or a day or like next week, and you'll just be like, yes, it's fine. Like, not every week's going to be the fucking sickest week in the world.
No. Just
do stuff.
It's the weeks where everything's going wrong that define your level of success.
Yeah.
Because anyone can smash it when it's easy.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know if you've seen the guy that I keep posting on my stories. Guy, he's like a preacher. Well, no, I say he's a preacher. I think he's like a minister or something, but he's like a motivational speaker.
E.T.?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've sent me loads of. I've been listening to loads of his stuff since you sent me his YouTube thing.
He's sick, isn't he?
Yeah.
Have you heard him say?
Is that where you got confidence? I meant to ask you this. Is that where you got confidence from? Because there's a clip, right? I was listening to some. It was a techno
When you
song.
say where I got confidence from, do you mean confidence starts to be not meditation?
No, no, yeah.
Because
that way you got confidence. That was completely, yeah.
I'm
that
not
was a fucking
dishevelled shell of a human, and then I started watching E.T. and now I'm sound.
So sometimes my brain says things because I understand what I want to know, but then it forgets that everyone outside of my brain doesn't know what the fuck I'm on about. Which is funny, completely off subject of self-confidence, right? But do you know your whole you and I, or me and I,
Yeah.
that you have?
Mm-hmm.
I've realised I've got that, but I just call it something different because I'm not that spiritual.
Inner bitch.
Well, I have me and my brain.
Yeah.
So I see my brain as a completely separate entity to me.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Rachel today and I was like, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
the me
the
and
same.
I.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just I'm not stepping out of my body. I'm just seeing that my brain is doing something completely different.
Yeah.
And that's what, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. But now I properly get it
Because you've
I do it.
experienced it.
Yeah.
You felt it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd tell you that.
What's the video that you saw?
It's not a video, it's a song, right? And I screenshot it yesterday in the middle of a session as well.
Wins and losses?
And I was like, look, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to screenshot this song. And she was like, why? I was like, got my phone out.
Wins and losses?
No, it's like a techno song, but he's talking over it and I'm almost certain it's ET.
Yeah.
Talking about confidence. And he's talking about courage, sorry, not confidence. Because you know one of your things is courage, isn't it?
Yeah.
First part of your programmed courage.
Yeah.
And that's what he's talking about all the way through. And I was like, I wonder if that's what he's listening to.
What does he say?
He's like, you've got to have the courage to, like, I can't remember it. I'm going to merge it. I'm going to try.
You got to have the courage. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be successful. That's a different guy. He's called TD Jakes.
Is he?
But I've done I found that audio and did a reel with it a few months back.
Yeah, because as soon as I heard that, I actually had it on when I was doing bike sprints on the turbo, and that song come on. I was like, oh my God. Just leave it, and I just replayed it for the whole
lad,
20 minutes.
Powerful.
So.
When you actually watch him speak that speech, oh lad, it's sick.
It's cool, isn't it? Having that power.
Yeah.
So, should probably talk about self-doubt.
No, but I think that what we've just spoken about is an important point, because like, new webs.
Have you not seen these? Oh yeah, they've just been washed.
Sorry, I just completely went to make a point and then got distracted by your shoes.
To me, less ugly toe shoe.
Nice, lad. They look like you're less of a sex offender.
Far less offensive, yeah. Like you look like a bit of a duck in them.
Yeah.
But it's a fair compromise to actually wear barefoot shoes and
which? Oh.
See, from that angle there on camera, very duck-esque. And then if I go, can I do it? See if you look at them from the top down.
What a position.
I know. Very.
I didn't know you could do that.
Like when I look down at my feet, all I see is a duck. I just see Donald Duck. They don't look that bad. Like someone else looking at them.
Yeah.
But same with like the Vibram toe shoes. If you wear no socks with them, you've got to wash them. You get like one wear out of them and then that's it.
Yeah, it's game over. But anyway, going back to the original thing we were talking about, E.T. We were talking, I feel like I've got to backtrack because we went all over the place then.
Oh, we went all over the place.
We were originally talking about how weeks that are fucked up and your life's just all over the place, those are the weeks that, where if you can still execute, will define your success.
Yeah.
And E.T. says this thing where he says, everyone wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do.
Nice.
Which is just a sick saying. It's like anyone can be a beast when it's fucking sunny outside and like just everything's just falling on your lap and life's just boss. But like when your life's just in a shambles on the floor.
Did he steal that off Ronnie Coleman?
I don't know, maybe.
Because it was Ronnie Coleman, wasn't it? That said, everyone wants to be a bodybuilder until it's time to lift some heavy ass shit. But said it in a Ronnie Coleman way.
Doesn't sound the same with the Scouse tongue.
No.
Does it?
Doesn't sound the same when you're pasty white ginger and from Liverpool.
No, does not.
And about a quarter of Ronnie's size and weight.
A quarter. But yeah, that's like, even that ties in nicely to self-doubt actually, because there will be times where self-doubt's creeping in and it's fucking you up and your head's all over the gaff. And today we're going to talk about like what self-doubt actually is, how to overcome it. One of the ways in which to overcome it is almost to just ignore it.
Yeah.
We'll speak about it properly in more context in a minute, but like there will be, I think it's, for me anyway, I think it's just something that everyone experiences no matter what level you're at a certain point. Like maybe at a certain point you won't experience it if you're the fucking absolute best in the world. But even then, maybe you still will. Maybe a bit of imposter syndrome. But like, it's always going to be there at certain points, and you still need the capacity to be able to operate and execute, even when you're feeling that pain, feeling that challenge inside your head. You still need to step up to the plate and execute.
I think perception's really important, isn't it? It's like how you perceive self-doubt.
Yeah.
Like we know that.
This is one of the notes I've made, lad.
How you perceive stress.
Yeah.
Changes how stress affects your body.
Yeah.
Like there's a fantastic TED talk on stress and its effects on the heart. And I can never ever remember the name of the hormone, and it infuriates me every time. The happy hormone, the hormone that you release when you hug.
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Why can I never ever remember that name? So oxytocin actually has like regenerative effect. Oh my God, I can't speak. Wow. I apologize for everyone listening to this today. My mouth hole is not working.
I think
oxytocin can help repair the heart, revert the negative effects of stress. And that's why when you get stressed, you produce oxytocin so that it can offset the negative effects of being in a high stress situation. And they've done a study where they literally just asked people, do they perceive stress as good or bad? And then went and followed them for like 30 years.
Mad.
And those that continually perceived stress to be a good thing lived longer, had a much lower risk of heart problems and cardiac problems, like of like cardiac related deaths and all this kind of stuff. And they think it was simply because they produced so much more oxytocin compared to those that perceived. When people think that stress was bad, simply perceiving it to be bad meant that they produced less oxytocin.
Yeah. There was more of a protective effect against the stress.
Yeah.
Body's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just like, change how you think, and your body just like changes what it does. And that's it.
It's crazy.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, the kind of on the same topic, because we're talking about perception, the study about the strength athletes and the power of positive self-talk. And before each lift, they were told to say phrases. I think they had to say the phrase like 5 or 6 times, like, I can lift more than this, or I'm stronger than this. And I say this to my clients all the time, like, say it, and they like laugh, and I'm like, no, fucking say it, you'll be stronger.
Yeah. I've used it.
It increased their free testosterone. They increased how much testosterone they produced by saying words out loud. That is insane, isn't it? Do you not think that's just mental?
It's mad.
There's people taking steroids out there, and I can increase my testosterone by saying words.
Well, it's obviously
not to the same extent, but
and just sat there doing affirmations in the morning instead of injecting yourself.
But, right, if you're like pro level bodybuilder, like the biggest bodybuilder in the world, on like a fucking shitload of gear, and then you start using positive affirmations,
I don't think it's driving it up any higher.
Do you not think?
No, I don't reckon it's going to go any higher. I think your body will have some sort of fucking mechanism to stop that process.
Or it just goes, we've got absolutely no use for all of this.
Yeah. My testes are no longer working.
Yeah.
Even if we wanted to, we couldn't.
Oh yeah, I suppose, yeah, actually. Yeah, it's completely different, isn't it? Anyway, perception of self-doubt is so important.
What I've written down is in my head, so I don't even need to look at my phone. First thing is, what is self-doubt and where does it come from?
What do you believe self-doubt to be?
Well, I've just asked you the question.
Okay, ask me. I thought you were just
asking me back.
Just putting that out into the universe.
Okay,
what do I believe self-doubt to be?
Yeah.
A lack of evidence.
Nice.
So you don't have any proof that you can do the thing because you've never done it before. So when you, like, self-doubt to me only comes when you're pushing out of like your comfort zone. And that's because your brain doesn't have the information. It doesn't have like previous experience or stuff to recall on to know what the outcome's going to be of that thing. So it's when like people have like a fear of failure or like, a fear of success. It's because they don't know what's coming. So that's that voice of self-doubt, like, well, we don't know. And your brain hates not knowing. Like,
I think that I actually seen this on a reel the other day. and I was just, boss. He said your brain is geared for survival, not success.
Nice.
So your brain is not geared for you to achieve unbelievable heights of success.
Yeah.
Like what would be the result for a caveman being geared to just constantly be on the hunt all the time, getting like 300 kills in like
Yeah.
a
It
year
just doesn't. It
for no
doesn't
reason.
need to,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't need. You need like 2 kills a year
Yeah.
and freeze it.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
Yeah.
That's it. You can
You
feed.
just
You
need
can,
food
you can
to
feed the whole
survive.
family.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not wired for success. We're wired for survival. So when you're in a comfortable position and you're surviving, everything's nice. There's no. It's harmonious in the mind. Everything's just chilling. When you start as you say, stepping out of that comfort zone and you're really striving forwards for things, your brain's thinking, oh shit, well what happens if I fail and everyone's laughing at me, or what happens if I do this, what happens if I lose my house, what happens if I do, and it starts going off and off because the brain, it's its job to find problems and solve them. So if you're in a place where you're stepping out of your comfort zone, it starts finding problems as to why are you doing this? Why? And it's literally its job to find problems and solve
It's the
them.
what ifs, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
it.
What if this happens? What if that happens? So there's always just this fucking voice in your head that's saying, well, what if you try this and you fail and this happens and that happens and your fucking wife leaves? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's the brain's job
It's autopilot.
to talk shit.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Because if it talks shit, it's probably going to stop you from doing the thing that might cause damage to you and your life, you and your survival,
well,
you and your
if it
social
doesn't
connections.
If it doesn't know the outcome, it'll go worst case scenario.
Yeah. It's trying to protect.
Yeah. Because, well, it's safer to just stay where we are now than
because we know this is fine.
Go into this unknown where like I can't give you information of what's going to happen, so probably just don't do it.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case. Yeah,
because
it's just a big shitbag, really.
Yeah. It's not even like, because when we think of what like survival is, in order for us to survive, we need like social connections, we need money, we need this, we need that, we need a family, like we need friends. So if you're willing to risk all of these things that you already have to maybe go and start a business or go and do something or chase your dreams, you might have to neglect your friends for a period. Mm-hmm. You might have to risk all of your life savings to start this business. You might have to risk all of these things that are putting you in a lovely, comfortable situation in order to reach these heights that you want to lead or you want to live, sorry. But like your brain doesn't need that. Your evolutionary biology doesn't need that.
Yeah.
It's just that the person within you wants to achieve that. So your evolution's going to tell you, no, don't go for that because you're risking all these things that are fulfilling me right now.
Yeah.
For this thing that I don't really need. So of course I'm going to tell you not to do. I'm going to try and protect what we've got, because that's just the nature of survival, not success.
One of the ways I sort of had it explained to me by, remember when I worked at Rob Dial, he explained it in a really good way. It was like, imagine it like, and he explained it in American temperatures, so like Fahrenheit, which didn't make sense to me. But imagine like where you're at now, like your comfort zone is like room temperature. And he said, and you've got like the upper limit and the lower limit of that room temperature where it's comfortable. And like, if the room starts getting a little bit too hot, you start stepping outside of that comfort zone. You can go so far before it becomes uncomfortable. And your body's like, okay, go back to room temperature. And it pulls you back. But all your success and all your like growth and being more comes from being in that really fucking hot room. But you've got to get in that hot room and stay in that hot room, like sitting in a sauna.
Yeah.
And he said, just like going on holiday, when you first get on holiday and it's really fucking hot and you can't really cope with it.
Yeah.
Well, there's people who live in Dubai all year round, for example, and they're just used to it being hot because they've acclimatized to it. He said, that's all you've got to do is you've just got to get in that heat
and stay there
for long enough
where it becomes normal.
That becomes your new normal.
Yeah.
And he was like, but if you don't stay there and you keep getting uncomfortable and coming back, you'll just stay where you are. He was like, but the same thing happens the other way. So like where you're at right now, like, so let's say, for example, people's weight. You might be overweight right now. You might be uncomfortable with your body, how you look, how you feel, like uncomfortable in your t-shirt, pulling away from your body, all that kind of stuff. But it's not uncomfortable enough. You're not in that it's not getting cold. Like if we turn the aircon in here and it starts getting like -1, you're going to be like, right, okay, I need to turn temperature up. When that t-shirt starts constantly being tight on you, when you no longer fit in your jeans at all, when you're getting out of breath just walking up to bed, you're like, right, shit, okay, I need to do something about it. And that's when you go and fucking turn the heating on. But then when you get back to that comfort zone again, it's like, okay, well, the t-shirt's, it's tight on my belly a little bit, but
Yeah.
I fit my jeans again.
Yeah.
I can still have some takeaway on the weekend. Like I went out this weekend with the lads and like I got some immediate gratification from going and doing this stuff.
Yeah.
You're back in that comfort zone again.
Yeah,
So it works both ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to be greater and you want to be more, you've got to endure that hot, that heat, that sauna.
Oh, I love that. Like
But
that. Do you know that's
you won't change the other way until
Yeah.
you get freezing cold and it's too uncomfortable
Yeah.
to bear there as
Yeah.
well.
But that's like, I feel like the way when you've explained that to me, you've told me that probably like 4 or 5 times, or I've heard you speak about it 4 or 5 times.
I just repeat myself a lot. I've got like 4 bits of useful information and I just cycle through them.
No, I mean,
so this is what we'll talk about this month. Next month I'll whip out my other one.
No, you've probably told me you've told like someone while I've been there. You spoke about an Instagram podcast now, but like it's proper just clicked with me then. It's just like, do you know something else ET says? He talks about making diamonds. They make diamonds by taking whatever the raw material is. I don't even know. Carbon.
Yeah.
Nice. Putting it under extreme amounts of pressure, and then extreme heat, and then they cut it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're unable to handle the heat in the kitchen, you're unable to handle that pressure that you say you want something, and then you say, right, well, in order to get that, you have to do this, this, and this, and this. It's very uncomfortable. It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of internal thoughts. There's so much pressure. And then there's the heat. There's the heat that you might come up against, the challenges that might come up against you. They're trying to pull you off track. And stay in the kitchen and just make that the new normal.
Yeah.
And you continue to execute in those moments, then you make a diamond, lad.
It's like anything that like we say to all of our clients, like the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it.
Yeah.
If you, self-doubt's going to happen. Self-doubt is a necessary part of you progressing, because like we've just said, if you don't have the information, if you're becoming something you've never been before, if you're creating a physique that you've never ever had before, or you're trying to lose 30 pounds and you've never ever weighed that weight before, it's a complete unknown, and there's going to be self-doubt with it. But if you run away because you doubt yourself every time, then you're never ever going to get there, because that's every time you try, that self-doubt's going to pop back up.
Well, look, right now, I feel like a fat cunt. So this is the self-doubt that I'm dealing with.
You are.
No, I know.
What the fuck did you just say?
No. So,
but yeah, it's
the self-doubt that I'm
you are
dealing
in a
with
position right now.
I know I'm obviously not fat in terms of normal standards. Like the average human would probably say I'm not fat. But in terms of my standards, I feel a little bit fat. But that's besides the point. It's uncomfortable for me. I'm at the fucking upper limits of the temperature where it's stressing me out. No, not stressing me out, but it's like I'll walk past me and be like, heavy that. But I understand that the level of muscle mass that I want to hold on my frame, I have to go through this. I have to be able to be willing to allow body fat to rise to this level and beyond. And if I'm not willing to do that, and I get to this temperature, and then I go, oh no, fuck that, I'm going to cut. And then go back, because it makes me more comfortable. I feel in control. I feel like it's just a lot, it's comfort. I don't want to look at myself and feel fat. But if I can stay in the hot kitchen, stay at this temperature, and even push it further and further and further and hotter, eventually it's going to come time to cut again. And I'm going to be able to reap the rewards of staying at this temperature, of letting body fat elevate and reaching new body weights and reaching new levels of strength.
Yeah.
And taking it to that level where I'm going to be able to experience or gain levels of tissue that I wouldn't have been able to gain if I was to shit myself and cut again. So it's one of them that's when I'm going through this process, it's like doubting myself because I've made the decision I potentially want to compete next year, and I'm just looking at myself going, oh my God, wow, no, like this is, I'm just gonna look shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's something that is never gonna leave you. It's always gonna be there when you are pushing the boundaries on anything. But we need to have a good relationship with doubt. We can't let it consume us.
Yeah.
When it happens, whatever in here is rationalize it. Understanding it is key. When you understand that it's normal, you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Just understand what it is.
Yeah.
It's your brain's evolution just deciding to try and fuck you up a little bit. It's just deciding to try and keep you in your comfort zone. So when that self-doubt comes, just sort of being like, right, well, I understand what this is. I don't have to listen to it. I know that it's just a little bit of shit. If I want to achieve these levels, I'm just gonna have to push through it.
That's it. Like it doesn't make it. It doesn't mean like you're gonna have less self-doubt, but being more self-aware and aware of what it actually is, and being able to step out of it. Why we meditate, I think, like I talked about this last night about self-evaluation, like, and being impartial in your own self-evaluation of yourself, to be able to look at self-doubt and go, okay, well, why do I feel like this right now?
Well, it's me and I.
Like me in the pool that first day, like drowning in self-doubt, like done one length and was like, okay, you've got 30 more of them to do and you've got 12 weeks to do it. You're not going to do that. The lifeguard's laughing at you. Like there was a lot of self-doubt and I had to just stop, meditate and go, right, okay, well, that's all the shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at all of the other things that you've done in your life. One of my favorite things that anyone's ever said to me, which is fantastic for self-doubt, is when, and you'll have had this as well, definitely, when you get a client who says, I'm shit at whatever.
Yeah.
Like, could be anything. I'm not funny. Or like, I'm not smart is a great one. It's like, oh, I'm just not smart enough. It's like, okay, nutrition. Yeah, you're not smart enough because no one's ever taught you it. So why the fuck would you be?
Yeah.
Like, no one in school teaches you about nutrition.
Yeah.
At least they didn't when I was in school. They might do now, probably not. But go and find me an area in your life where you are smart. Like, what do you do for a job? Do you raise your kids? Like, do you manage all of the outgoings in your house? Like, there'll be something in your life that shows you that you are smart, that disproves the fact that you think that you're not, which then you can draw on to remove or like reduce the feeling of self-doubt. It's like, oh my God, for me, I'm a fucking shit swimmer. Oh my God, I'm never going to do this. I feel like a fucking idiot. Everyone's fucking looking at me. Right, okay, hang on. Stop a minute. Have you learned to do other things that involve exercise before? And have you got really fucking good at them? Yeah. Okay, right. Well, do you think then maybe if you just try more than just one time in the swimming pool, you might get better at swimming?
More than one length.
Maybe just more than one length. Maybe hire a coach. Maybe go and ask some people who know what they're doing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can shut that self-doubt up now and go and try and swim again. It doesn't mean the self-doubt's not there. Like, I still get in the pool now, do my session and go, a long way to go. But I'm still there. I'm still doing it. I'm better now than I was 7 weeks ago.
Because look, if you listen to that self-doubt and you give up, you're just going to stay where you are forever.
I'm just going to shit really shit.
You're going to be shit forever.
Yeah,
you won't do the triathlon. You'll just drown in
Yeah.
the fucking open water. You'll have to get the boat to rescue you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You can't listen to it unless you want to be a mediocre muppet for the rest of your life.
That's it. Mark talked this week about like balancing your emotions.
Yeah.
And self-doubt, to me, is just an unbalanced emotion. It's an unbalanced view of yourself. So like, one of the ways you can overcome self-doubt, for me anyway, is to go and balance those emotions. So like, what are you doubting? You're doubting that you're never going to be skinny. Why? Okay, because you've never been that skinny before, or you've never lost that amount of weight before. Okay, well, what else in your life have you done that you have stuck to for 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 6 months? You get someone who's been to uni. So I've got a client at the moment who's got like, wants to lose a serious amount of weight, but has never done it before. and this is something that happened, it's what I do. Self-doubt can creep in there. However, I know that, and it hasn't yet, so this is kind of just a made-up example, but they've been to uni and I think they've got like a master's. So like, it's a long time in university to stick at something, be consistent at it, keep turning up. So when that self-doubt creeps in, if it eventually does, and they go, I don't think I'm ever going to get there. I'm like, well, let's look at the other areas of your life where you have committed to something for way longer than you need to lose this weight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not asking you to stick to this diet, this amount of calories for like 9 years, 6, 7 years, however long it took you to get your master's. Do you think possibly then you have got the potential in you to stick to something for like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? Like, and it's as simple as that. Like, as soon as someone does that and steps outside of that unbalanced emotion, because you always get sucked into that moment, don't you? Of like simple things like, oh, the scales went up this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a shit session today. Oh, fucking, I messed up on me fucking, like, I missed a meal this morning, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and then you go, well, I'm shit. I'm never going to do this. Like, just stop. Look at the bigger picture. And as soon as you do that, it's like, okay, yeah, this self-doubt is just a load of nonsense.
This is why meditation is so important. Do you know, Jacob, I changed the title from one of the clips that you put on with Lucy last night. And I changed it to something along the lines of meditation will, it wasn't this because this is a shit title, but meditation will create success or something like that. Because it's not just about meditation to like
meditate to achieve success in life.
Yeah, that was it. Meditate in capitals. Meditate to catch everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, meditate, it'll draw them to it. Meditate to achieve success in also capitals.
Nice.
In life. Because it's not just about be present and be one with nature and just be a fucking Buddhist. Like, it's meditate so that you can catch your own bullshit. You can catch your own shit. You can catch that stupid voice in your head that's causing you to be average, and you can tell it to shut up. Because meditation, you're just watching your thoughts. So when that self-doubt creeps in, if you're not aware of it, you do have a meltdown.
Yeah.
But if you are aware of it, you can rationalize it, you can understand it, and you can move past it. But if you don't have that awareness, you can't do that. Which is why awareness is pillar number 2 of the More Than Muscle program, lad, because it's just fucking essential for any level of success.
Something which ties nicely into this, like, with having gone to
clip that, Jacob.
With being fortunate enough, I'm not fortunate enough, I made it happen. Well, I did, to put myself in a room with some seriously successful people and to be around seriously successful people.
Yeah.
One of the things that they all have in common, one, they all say that they suffer with self-doubt.
Yeah.
It's a part of being successful. But they are all in control of their emotions. I have never met someone who is like really successful who just flies off the handle and like loses the shit on a day-to-day basis. Do you know what I mean? Like Mark, for an example, something happened at the start of that last mastermind where like they hadn't set the room up properly, and like they were all talking before, like we didn't see this happen, but they were like, he said at the start, he was like, and he lost it a little bit there because he was getting really stressed because big day, first time this was ever done with all of the group and it wasn't set up right. And he just went, no. And he had a little bit of a, getting a bit pissed, and then just went, that's not.
Yeah.
It's not what we need right now. And brought it back down. And that, being able to control your emotion is pivotal, isn't it? Like, you cannot be successful without it.
100%.
And part of that is how you're going to manage your self-doubt, is that when that self-doubt creeps in, it's like, well, I don't want to fucking feel like this. I don't want to listen to that voice.
Not even that I don't want to feel like this, because you don't really have much control over how you feel. It's just like, don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
How I feel.
Yeah.
Just gonna get it done anyway.
Yeah. That's a much more accurate way to say it. Yeah, it's like, okay, I feel like shit. So what? Remember I used to say that all the time. It was like, I used to say it to Rach and it used to really piss her off. It was like, so what? And I don't mean it as in like, so what, I'm not asked. I mean it as in like, so what? Like, so what as like a leading question of,
Do you know?
I feel like shit today. Okay, but so what?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, do you know? There's one of my mates. I don't know if you listen to the podcast. One of my mates from school. Remember, he told me a story one time. He had a fight. Well, it wasn't even a fight. It was someone owed him some money, and it got a bit heated, and he just smacked him in the face.
Yeah.
And dropped him. And then like towered over him and, what now, lad? What now? And he told me. And it's always stuck with me because that phrase is funny.
Yeah.
When you say what now?
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's like, I've just punched you in the face. What are you gonna do now? Like, what happens now? We're just gonna lie there? Like, what do you know what I mean? So it's like, what now? The way you say so what? I often say what now in my head. Ever since he told me that story, it's like, right, your life's on the floor. What now?
What now?
What are you gonna do now? You're just gonna leave it there?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna fucking pick it up?
Do you know, I listened to a really good one for self-doubt, and I've never actually done it in the way that it's a Goggins. It was a Goggins video, and he's another level, isn't he? For like,
It's just a lunatic.
he actively likes being in pain. He actively likes, probably the only person in existence, maybe Jocko Willner. Willink, is it?
Nick.
I don't know. I'm quite bad at reading, you know. Yeah. Do that all the time. What did I say? And what is it? Willink. That guy. You know who I meant? You know who I meant though. So, do you know what I mean? Who, you know, we always say like you can't get yourself to where you want from a place of hate.
Yeah.
Some people can. Because I think that that is like the only reason Goggins operates on a daily basis. Like, okay, I feel too comfortable today. Let's do something that just makes me feel like shit. And just goes and gives himself. But it was him talking about that. He was like, woke up, felt like shit, felt tired, didn't want to go for a run. And for him, that's like a fucking 40-mile run for breakfast or something ridiculous, isn't it? But he was like, I was saying all this stuff, like I was tired, I didn't want to go to sleep. And I'm saying all this stuff inside my head. So I just videoed myself saying it all. And then I listened to it back. And I was like, what is that little bitch saying? Like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I've got a bit of a headache. Oh, it's been a long day. It's like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
And like, I've never actually videoed myself doing it. But when I get that in my head, I do just think, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? Like, this is the life you want.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a headache. Fuck off. Like, shut up, take some painkillers, go to the gym. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just that simple thing of like just stepping back. And I think that could be really useful for some people when
I might do that.
you are stuck in your own head
of
like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you actually saying? Like, a good one I might actually use it in future, but when people, I've never actually thought to do it, but I'm gonna. So watch out for my clients now. Someone send you a voice note.
Yeah.
Go and listen back to that voice note. Go and listen back to what you've just told me in that voice note is the reason why you're not doing the things that you're going to do today.
Yeah.
And just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because often some voice notes you get is like, oh, well, this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And I tried to do that, but then this happened. It's like, that's a load of excuses you just give me. Like, I know life happens, but nowhere in that voice note was there anywhere where you said, this happened, so this happened, but then there was no action from you. There was just excuses, and that's the important bit, isn't it? Like, shit happens. Like, everyone's busy, everyone's tired, especially if you're trying to fucking lose weight.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking tired. Everyone doesn't want to go to the gym. Everyone's got a headache. Everyone's had a fucking long day. Great. Okay, but what now? What now?
Are you going to execute or are you going to be a little bitch?
What was it in your email or was it in a post you put up this week? The executioner or something?
Yeah. Become an executioner. Ruthless, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? I did a split test on the email. You will have been on the split test because it's not going out till 8 o'clock tonight. Sorry, 6 o'clock tonight. But what title did you get? Did you get I chopped his head off or become an executioner, I think was the other one. What
Oh
was?
no, I seen that on an Instagram post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
it was a
didn't get
caption,
I didn't
and
get
it's also an
Yeah,
email.
I didn't get an email off you.
Because most people, let's be honest, don't read captions on Instagram. So now,
No.
double whammy with content. One piece of content, two birds with one stone, lad.
Yeah.
Goes out on an email and a caption and a blog post on the website. 3 birds with one stone.
Isn't it weird? I get a blog. He gets a blog. Saying
I didn't even know you had a blog. This was Graham's idea. Shout out to Graham.
Sick. We are just
We're just
Bluetooth,
on-
mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Bluetooth. Yeah.
Do you know what I always think? You hear about like bloggers making like businesses from blogging.
Mm.
Sorry, who the fuck is going on websites to like read blogs?
People do.
Who? Who
Well-
has time for that?
Everyone. I use blogs.
Mad.
You ever think like you forget about something, whatever? So like I've just forgot about oxytocin, and I go to Google and go, "What the fuck is that thing that fixes your heart?" And type in some really stupid question into Google.
I suppose.
Whoever's got the best, apart from whoever's paying the most ad money, but whoever's got the most optimized website for that specific question, their blog's going to pop up. So if someone's written a blog on oxytocin,
Ah,
that pops up at the top of Google search. So that's what's fantastic about a blog is like if you get phrases right or if you get the question right inside your blog, when someone searches for that thing,
nice.
it pulls out bits of your blog and that. Do you know what I mean? So whichever
Nice.
one
Lad, do you know?
is optimized for search SEO, search engine optimization, whichever one picks up your
Yeah.
blog post, if you can write it in a way that it
Nice.
gets picked up by Google, more people find your website.
Right, sound. Well, I've written an unbelievable article. Not even a blog. It's not a blog post. It's an article.
Nice.
It's incredible about red meat and why it's not bad for you and vegan culture and all the vegan cunts. I mean, a lot of vegans are fine.
Yeah. No,
Some of
I
them
get
are
what you mean.
cunts.
There's vegans and vegan cunts.
Yeah.
There's people who eat meat and there's meat eating cunts.
Yeah.
Liver King.
Yeah. Oh, lad. Lad.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's PTs and then there's cunts. James Smith. Like, do you know what I mean? There's split, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Lad,
there's extremes of everything.
that Liver King's such a muppet. Lad.
Like, I eat liver, and that's why I look like I take steroids. I don't look like I take steroids because of all the steroids I take. It's because I eat raw liver.
I want 4 grams of gear and I eat heart every now and then.
I inject 7 times a day and I eat liver, and it's the liver why I'm so big.
Oh, lad. Yeah. Alima Omega's skits of him make me laugh so
Oh,
much. lad.
funny. Do you know what? To be fair, I put what's his name? James Smith put up a good one yesterday as well. Like
Even though-
sometimes
even though he's a
some
cunt.
of his stuff, I feel like he's just on the hunt to just give people shit because it gets a good reaction. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday's one was really good. He was just in a taxi. It was proper on the fly, like, and he was just in a taxi talking to the taxi driver, going, "Oh yeah." Basically, I just get paid to like call people out on shit on the internet, and then it was just him having a conversation with the taxi driver, and then it cut to him actually doing the thing with the ring light on in the back of the taxi. So he obviously must have been setting up, and the taxi driver's going, "What the fuck are you doing, mate?" And it was a good one. You should go and find it. It was his latest one, just about some fucking sweatpants. But he was less cunty and more just, come on, you know
Yeah.
better than this.
Yeah.
No one's gonna believe you.
Well, anyway, yeah, that article
Yeah. So that article,
is going to be sick. You should read it, lad.
is it up? Is it writ?
No,
is
no.
it finished? Not finished yet.
So I've basically written about 90% of it. Just got to finish it off.
So I wrote a blog, or started a blog, sorry, because I was writing emails and getting really into them. And then I was like,
No one's
no one's
reading
reading
this.
this as an email.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just 700 words long. No one's reading this as a fucking essay. Okay, let's turn it into a blog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you've got Instagram post, you're a little bit interested. Email, you kind of like reading me shit.
Mm.
Blog,
You love me.
bear me up. Yeah.
I can't remember how we got onto that.
Does it even matter?
Doesn't matter, but let's try and bring it back to self-doubt. Let me check my notes because there was something. I think the final one that oh no, we've sort of touched upon it a little bit. Another way to overcome self-doubt is having self-compassion, which we have spoken about a little bit. I feel like no, we've covered that. I don't even want to speak about that.
Having open conversations with other people, whether that is your coach, your partner, a friend, about self-doubt is a fantastic way of overcoming it, because like
People just tell you to shut up.
yeah, because they're not hearing all of the bullshit you're telling yourself in your head. They're just hearing the nonsense reasons why you think you're not good enough.
It's like taking that video of yourself and looking at it and going, oh, lad, shut up. That's what other people see when you say it to you.
Yeah.
Told Ross I was feeling fat and he's like, lad, shut up.
Yeah. And that sometimes that's enough. Like,
Yeah.
you might have seen like my client who had the like real wobble about her weight because like she's done her body measurements and they hadn't changed, and just like proper threw her off because she's been smashing it for weeks. But spoke to me about it. Like if she didn't have that external conversation, would have just been like, well, I'm shit, I'm useless, I've fucking I've just had it today actually. I checked my phone this morning after walking the dog and I had a massive message off one of the girls who done the mastermind a couple of weeks ago, saying the same thing. Like, weight's not changing, I've gained weight, measurements aren't changing, like all this stuff's fucking with my head. I was just jumping a call. Here's my calendar link. Just jump on a call. Next week we'll just literally sit down and go, okay, well, what have you done? What are you like? What are the metrics? What food have you ate? What exercise have you done? What steps have you done? Right. Okay. Either you're not losing weight because of this, or no, it's not actually that, you're fucking on your period, or you're fucking eating way too much fibre and you're really bloated, or you're eating something that doesn't agree with you, or you've actually just, you're in that weird phase where you gain as much muscle as you lose in fat and nothing kind of changes and it kind of really throws you off, and then at some point you'll tip over the edge and your weight will start coming down. But if she doesn't have that conversation, she's just gonna fuck it all off. Like, part of the message was like, when I've done this before, the scales have just come down, but they're not now. So you're just gonna stop, aren't you, if it's not working? Previous information tells you that you should be losing weight. If it's not now, well, the thing that you're doing now isn't working.
The temperature's getting a bit hot, lad.
Yeah.
It's getting a bit hot.
It's getting a bit hot.
Stay in the kitchen, son.
Just having that external conversation with someone so they can just go, shut up, you muppet.
Yeah.
I think I literally titled her video,
"Shut up, you muppet."
Give your head a wobble. That's what, you know, when I sent the Loom video over, I went through all the body measurements before and we spoke about this last week, didn't we? But it was just titled, just give your head a wobble. Like, because that's what you needed to do. It was like, you're in your voice.
Yeah, and that's one of the most powerful things about having a coach.
Yeah.
Having someone in your corner to give your head a wobble when it's all over the place. Because realistically, you can find a lot of the information that you need to get in shape, but it's your mind that stops you from executing. And it's when you have a wobble and life, again, is on the floor, temperature gets a bit hot, your head's all over the place, that's when it pays to have someone else to be accountable to, someone to give your head a wobble and just help you sort your shit out. I got a message, I'm gonna pull it up and read it, from one of my clients who is a perfectionist in every area of his life. Successful in career, he's just a perfectionist. We spoke about this on the first call that we had, where he was like, usually what happens is I'll be absolutely flying and then something will pop up and I'll fall off, because he wants perfectionism.
Yeah.
As soon as he's executing at 95%, because something in his life happened, he just gives up.
Yeah.
Because the temperature was a bit hot. It was too much. You had to get out the kitchen. But he's had a couple wobbles so far since we've been working together, just normal life stuff.
Yeah.
And every time it happens, he gets less fucked up by it, less affected by it, because of the conversations that we're having. It's never going to happen straight away. Every single time it happens, he's making progress, getting better. And this time, he basically sent me a video on
repeated exposure to the same stressor, isn't it?
I just basically had to. He was in the hot kitchen. Temperature was going up while he tried to get out. I shut the door on him. I'd stay in the kitchen.
Sometimes being a coach is sticking someone in the sauna and putting your foot on the bottom of the door so they can't get out, and smiling through the glass.
And he sent me a video on I think it was on the Stairmaster.
Oh, snip that, because I'll use that as a reel. just make a note of the timestamp for that for me, and I'll,
maybe for me as well. My kitchen one, your sauna one. But he sent me a video on the. I might be listening to this. Sent me a video on the Stairmaster or treadmill or something, and he was just like, he was just happy, buzzing with himself because he's evolved, and now he's not fell off at the same stimulus again and again and again.
Yeah.
He's getting better, and you can see it. And I sent him a message saying, "Name, mate, I love you," with the with the love heart and laughing face. Like, I was just watching the video, and he's just a proper character.
Yeah.
But he had me in stitches actually when I watched the video. And he said, "I love you too. Seriously, we're coming back. I've been good. I've not binged or relapsed, even though I've wanted to. I've shown some control. Your words of support have seriously inspired that behavioural change." And then some other stuff we were speaking about. But it's like, it's having that other person to have the conversation with, that just facilitates your transformational change of your mind, and then that allows the stuff to happen with the body.
Simple, like just that outside voice of reason, of like getting you to think differently about a situation. Like Mark does it with me all the time, because he's that impartial voice. One, he doesn't pull punches. Like, he's not asked about my feelings. He's asked about my goals. Do you know what I mean? Which just makes you a fantastic coach, isn't it? Like, I don't care how you feel. Like, I'll be empathetic.
Yeah. But
this is what you told me you want.
Yeah.
And this is the actions that I know you need to take to get there. So I'm going to say it to you in a nice way, but I'm not going to pull any punches in terms of, like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Having that, like, so example, this week, one of my girls is sick, and has been smashing it, but now can't go to the gym. So a couple of stuff happened, and where she missed a couple of days training, or like, I think she was like out for a week, got a couple of sessions in again, and now's got sick. I was like, oh my God, I feel like shit. Like, I'm missing all of this training and stuff. And I was like, okay, what's good? What's good about you being sick right now?
So Jack's just had a phone call and just completely stopped talking in the middle of a podcast.
I apologise for that.
Nice one.
I know, yeah. Fucking hell.
There's people listening.
We should have answered that. You know, that'd have been a laugh for the podcast.
What was it?
It would have been like one of those. No, it would have been one of those. Like, this is HSBC. We need your bank details. And like, do you? Okay, yeah. Do you want my card number first, or? And I said, so okay, well, you feel like this week's a shit week because you're sick. Why is it not a shit week? What's good about this week? And she was like, well, nothing, because I'm sick. And I feel like crap. I'm like, okay, but what's good about it? It's like, nothing, I'm sick. Like, why do you keep asking me that? I'm like, well, if you're sick and you're getting stressed out that you can't train, that's telling me that you don't know how to rest. Like, you don't know the importance, you don't value rest, you don't value taking the time off and the importance of recovery. So we can use the fact that you're sick this week for you to get comfortable doing nothing. You can then learn, okay, well, if I do rest, I get better quicker. And then that's going to benefit you further down the line when I say, okay, well, let's take a rest week.
Yeah.
Let's put a deload in. You're going to feel less uncomfortable about that and be more likely to actually adhere to it than go, I know you said take a rest, but I've gone and smashed this workout out because I was bored.
Yeah.
Like, so having that outside voice to flip it on its head and be like, well, no, look, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
You don't feel good now because you're sick. Like, no, it feels good when they're sick, but there's always a benefit to it. There's a positive and negative to everything. Yeah,
100%. I think when you lose a sense of control over things, like I think that the gym's satisfying and addicting in some senses because it's something you have full control over.
Yeah.
So if you control your nutrition, you control your training, you control your sleep to some extent, you control all of these things, you get a certain outcome. And it's like probably one of the only things in most people's lives where they have full control over it. And when that gets pulled away from you, it's like, fuck, it's like disorientating. You get sick, you're off for a week or whatever, and you don't have that outlet to drive your energy into. And it just becomes a bit disorientating. And then that voice of self-doubt keeps keeping in, and you start going, I've had a week off. I'm going to be fat. I'm going to put weight on, because you're no longer able to control.
Yeah, you can't. All the things that you give you that feeling of that sense of control are gone. Yeah, that's a really nice way of looking at it.
Yeah. So I mean, that obviously in the situation of your client, but also in any situation, that's probably one of the main reasons that why the temperature gets hot.
Yeah.
When you're operating at this level, and you're almost at capacity, and then something happens that pulls away a sense of control, and
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, what's going on? Then the self-doubt starts creeping
Yeah.
in even more. It's often because we don't have as much control as we would like.
What do you do in that situation when you know someone needs that sense of control or has lost that sense of control, for like in the case of like getting sick, or in the case of like, I don't know, like a good one would be like kids
Well,
being off school.
For
or
me,
like,
for me, this has happened to
Yeah.
me. So what you were talking about with your client, then I've experienced as well, which is why I'm talking about it in that sort of way, because everything that's gone on for me in the last couple of months has been a severe lack of control over
Yeah.
the things that I normally have 150% control over. Like, not a single calorie is missed.
yeah,
Not a single minute of sleep is missed. Everything's just fucking nailed to perfection usually. And then all the stuff that's happened means that I can't execute at the level that I normally do. So that's probably where a lot of the reasons why I feel like I'm out of shape, because my mind's playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
Going, "Oh, you're not executing. You look like a fat muppet." You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Easy,
it's like that's where the self-doubt is coming from, because I don't have the same level of control that I normally do. But again, at the same time, we need to rationalize self-doubt. We need to understand it for what it is, and continue executing anyway, and continue just operating at the highest level that you possibly can at any given moment. But in that situation, to answer the question, is like, for me, it's just about making sure that you give, well, for me in my situation, but if you're experiencing it with a client, giving that person more of a sense of control, and rationalizing what can you control, what can you not control. So if the things you can't control, stop stressing about them. Like if you now have less time to train, or you have less time to sleep, that's just how it is. You just have to get on with it. Stop worrying about those things. Everything that you can control, double down on it.
Yeah.
And regain your sense of control from executing every single day, no matter what. So I still can't control my food, still can't control the intensity I put in the gym, I still can't control my sleep, really. Like, there's a lot of things I can't control, the level of stress. So I mean, I can to some extent, but it's largely just sort of part and parcel with whatever. But everything that I can control, I have to double down on to give me that sense of control again, and then the self-doubt will naturally remove itself.
Stay in your 3-foot world.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite phrases.
That's
that.
one of the other 4 things that he knows.
That's my other. That's 2 of 4. Fucking hell.
Had you wasted 2 on one
I know.
podcast? Like, what are you going to do?
Oh, the rest of my content for the next 2 or 3 weeks is going to be fucking terrible. It's like I've got 2 things left. 2 things left. Now I'm going to spread them out. Shit.
We'll tell everyone what 3-foot world is, in case they haven't heard you say that before.
Did we not speak about that last week?
Not last week, no.
No.
Yeah, I've spoken about it before, but
Definitely spoke about it before.
we've got some new listeners and that, haven't we?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So your 3-foot world. Most people's arms, this comes from Navy SEALs, so this is like a 6-foot male we're talking about, unless you're one of those like freakishly small, freakishly strong soldiers that exist. Like, there used to be a SF bloke that we used to do some stuff with, and he was like 4 foot nothing, but somehow was just an absolute animal.
Yeah.
Most of them are like 6 foot, because long, like, you just like
More effective.
more effective because you've got longer limbs and stuff.
But anyway, most people
Most people are about 6 foot. Yeah. Like, average soldier's height is somewhere around 6 foot. So your arm is about 3 foot long. You can physically control your world with everything that you can grab. So this goes back to like actual combat, like they're going in the rooms and shooting people and grabbing people and controlling things. Like, you can control what you can hold in your hands.
Yeah.
Everything outside of that is out of your control. So if you're going into this room and you know there's someone else in there with a gun, you can't control what they do, but you can control you and your weapon.
Yeah.
Just worry about that. Just worry about where you are in the room, what you're putting your weapon at, everything else out of your control. If you're climbing a fucking mountain and you're absolutely fucking terrified of heights, and you're worrying about whether you fall and die, or whether the clip snaps or the harness breaks, you can't control that, but you can control that your hands and your feet are attached to that wall and you can grab those. So worry about that. Worry about moving that hand one more up.
Yeah.
You're sick right now, lying in bed, you feel like crap. What's within your control?
Reach for the Lemsip, lad.
Lemsip.
Get it down.
Book.
Yeah.
Calm app.
Yeah.
Like, right now, what can I do that I can immediately control because everything else is fucking irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, if I don't go to the gym tomorrow, if I don't sleep right tonight, like, what can you do right fucking now? What can you control? Can you go to sleep now then? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's in your 3-foot world. If you stay in that all the time, one, you'll be dead happy because, like, you go for a walk with the dog in the morning, it's so easy for me to step out of my 3-foot world and be like, what if I don't hit this goal this month? What if I don't do this by next week? And it's like, it's 8:30 in the morning. I'm on a field, the sun's rising.
Yeah.
And biscuits tipped upside down, rolling in some horse shit. Like, why am I even worrying about 2 weeks away? Like, look at where I am right now in life. Snap back into my 3-foot world and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Self-doubt disappears. Like, what can I, if I am stressing about it, right? Okay, well, I'm on a walk now. What can I control? Can I just meditate while I'm on this walk and then think of my to-do list to prime myself for when I get back in the office in a second?
Yeah.
Controlled it. Self-doubt's down.
Yeah.
Happiness is up.
Yeah.
Feeling good. Back in.
Yeah. I feel like we've stumbled upon something here for our own realizations as we've been speaking. It's like we've been speaking, we spoke about what is self-doubt. If we probably were to go back to that question, a lot of it is probably a lack of control, inability to control things and doubting ourselves as to whether we're going to, and that self-doubt creeps in. It's like, oh, well, you can't control this. What happens if it?
Yeah.
And then those what ifs creep in. So just to add that to the start of what we were saying, yeah, it's a natural thing to experience, but it's when you're focused on the things that you can't control, those what ifs start to arise. So if you only focus on the things that you can't control, it doesn't happen. Yeah. The 3-foot world.
Stay in the 3-foot world, next cute.
Nice.
Move with purpose, which is one I got off you.
Nice.
That's still on my whiteboard at home.
It's unreal. Move with purpose.
Move with purpose. I look at it every single day.
Put that on the hoodie.
On the hoodie. Nice. Shh. Another little teaser there. That's good. I like that. That would look good.
Move with purpose.
Yeah.
Lad, the design's sick. What are you gonna?
Is it gonna say more than muscle on it, or is it gonna say?
I'll tell you after, lad. I'm not spoiling it.
Okay. I'm excited.
Not spoiling it. It's gonna be sick. I mean, I'm not even probably gonna sell them. To be fair,
no, just gonna be like.
It's just gonna be for me. I'll buy them for myself, wear them around, and give them to my clients probably. We're
bringing ones out just for our clients because we've launched like a referral program.
Nice.
Sick, you know.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Mark about it yesterday. Nice way to round off this. So if you are one of our clients and you refer someone else and they sign up, you and the person who starts with us.
Oh my God. Right. I feel like we are just like the same person. Just because I've done one last
connected.
week. Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah. They both get a month of free coaching?
Oh, no, mine's different.
Oh, what's yours?
They both get paid £50.
Okay. There's not much difference.
I feel like from a business standpoint, mine sounds better. Yours is better. So they get more from you. Yeah.
I think for me is
I just think the thought of getting paid £50 is better than getting a month of free something because it doesn't sound as valuable.
What we'll do is we'll test it out, won't we?
Yeah.
And if yours works better, then I'll copy off you. And if mine works better, you'll copy off me. But they both get that. And then if they get 5 people, right, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, however many people after that, they get 2 months free.
Nice.
Yeah. So essentially, like, you could work with me for 4 months and then continue working with me for the rest of the year for completely free if you just referred someone new every month.
Sick.
But as part of it, your first successful referral, they're getting a personalised hoodie, t-shirt and journal.
Nice.
So I want to make them for that.
Sick.
You were speaking to your client last week about like having some kind of phrase or something on it.
Yeah.
That's what I've been.
A phrase with some meaning.
Yeah. Not putting any meaningful time in, just hoping that it kind of comes naturally, because that's the best way, isn't it? If you push.
Yeah.
It's always terrible.
Yeah.
Always terrible.
If you rush it. That's why it's probably taken me a year to come up with this fucking more than muscle pillars.
Yeah.
Because it just had to come
just
organically.
Happens, doesn't it? Yeah.
I was trying to force it. I sat there for hours trying to brainstorm, nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, one day, boom, just comes into me. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Should we round it off?
Yeah. Quick summary of self-doubt.
So yeah, self-doubt is probably largely just natural. I think everyone experiences it. Probably comes largely from a sense of lack of control. Stop
What is a
focusing on the
sign
stuff
of-
that you're unable to control. Focus on the stuff that you can control, and we can diminish it. What were you going to say?
It's a sign of progress, though.
Yeah.
That-
The temperature gets a little bit
Yeah.
hot, lads.
If you're feeling a lot of self-doubt, then you are pushing yourself somewhere you've never been
It's like what
before.
we said. If you're not feeling self-doubt, what are you even doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you feel self-doubt. Good.
Good. That's a
Good.
good sign.
Might just put that in my check-ins just every week.
Yeah.
Have you felt self-doubt this week? No. Right. Okay. Something's wrong. Let's fix that.
But lad, like when you think about it, the evolutionary thing again, going back to it, is like no one's designed for success. So if you're not
a
feeling
really nice way of
self-doubt,
looking about that.
if you're not feeling self-doubt, it means that you're in survival mode. If you're striving for success,
Surviving, not thriving.
yeah. If you're striving for success, you will feel self-doubt. So if you're not, it's probably a sign that you're being a bit of a mediocre muppet.
Nice.
So, yeah. Have we summarised? What else? Let me
That
pull
was it.
the
That's what we
notes.
talked about.
That was it.
wasn't
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. That.
That was it. So let's round it
I
off
think
then.
we just feel a bit weird because we finished on time,
4 minutes early, actually.
started
I'm like, what the hell's going on?
late, wrapped it up quite well. You've had notes.
What's going on with backlash?
I've only said one stupid thing.
Hey, and by the way, we're past 50 episodes. Can we just
Nice.
remember when we said, right? So we used to do podcasts on Zoom every week, and we'd just be like, yeah, we'll do one. Like we'll book it in, and it'd
Yeah.
be like 3 months until we did the next episode, and then we were like, hey lads, let's just commit to one a week.
Yeah.
And then soon we'll be on 100. Soon we'll be on 50 episodes. Soon we'll be on. I think we decided on like episode 15. We were
Yeah.
like, we hit 30. And we were like, yeah, sick. We hit 30.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, we'll be at 50 soon. And then if we think from a year from now, we'll be over 100. Mad. Joe Rogan numbers soon.
Joe
lads.
Rogan numbers.
Like episode 7,967.
Won't know if that's the time or the episode number.
Boss, thank you all for listening. If you're still here, please leave us a review. 5 stars, nothing less.